Post-SCOTUS ruling on presidential immunity, the Manhattan DA has said he is willing now to delay sentencing Donald Trump for 2 weeks while they re-examine the evidence. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. This is the Afternoon Drive. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That'll give you notification of my rants, my ravings, and my undeniably flawless reasonings. Hey, please like and share this video. That's the only way that we can get the word out that we're here. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to the Afternoon Drive.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Liberals around the country have lost their collective minds, a lot like their fearless leader, regarding the Supreme Court ruling on immunity. And honestly, reading Sotomayor's dissent, that we've now basically empowered the president to be a king. Bullhock. There is nothing further from the truth about this Supreme Court ruling. All the Supreme Court did was actually verbally explain what has always been understood, that when the president is acting in an official capacity as the president within his constitutionally mandated authority and responsibility, he is immune. So in other words, if this court had not stated the obvious, then I'm sorry, every previous president needs to be indicted immediately. Let's talk about Barack Obama and killing American citizens all in the war on terror. Let's talk about George Bush and the torture program at Gitmo. Let's talk about all of them, all of their hot wars and all of the things that they have been involved in, that literally you have Joe Biden blowing up a pipeline. You have Joe Biden funding and goading Ukraine into standing defiant against Russia to the point of literal annihilation. Talk about the thousands and thousands of people who have died under presidential directives. In actuality, Joe Biden and the Democrats should be thanking the Supreme Court for finally stating what is absolutely the common understanding and common practice. Here's what they don't like. It thwarts their plan. The one and only plan they had to stop Donald Trump was through the legal system. And here's the thing. We're constantly told by the liberals that he's a liar. That's what, the big mantra after the debate the other night. Well, Joe Biden was struggling to know what day of the week it was, but he wasn't up there just lying to the people. Whoa, 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 whoa. Time out, time out, time out, time out. For months, for weeks, for days, hours leading up to this debate, we were told there's nothing wrong with Joe Biden. These videos that you're looking at are deep fakes. They're carefully edited and crafted. These conservative pundits and online personalities that are constantly, for the last 4 years, dogging Joe Biden over dementia. This is all disinformation. It's all a lie. They put him on live television. We saw the mental cognitive breakdown to the point that even Bernstein on CNN said this is not a one-off. It's not that he just had a bad night. Insiders around Biden are saying that he can only function for about 6 hours out of the day. Joe Biden has known this. They protect Biden from certain scenarios and situations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Isn't that a lie? Telling the American people for months, for years, that literally this guy is on top of it and he is mentally there. And America got to see in full display during that debate, he's not mentally with it. He's not all there. So who told the bigger lie on the debate stage? They pushed back on Donald Trump that when he went after Joe Biden about killing Medicare, that Joe Biden, because he was having a bad night, didn't know to push back that on the Trump lie that welfare and Medicare is not being given to illegals. Yeah, it is. See, when you welcome them all into the country and you give them a place to stay, you feed them, you provide for them. We have a term for that. It's called, welfare. When you provide for their health needs when they get here, we have a word for that. Medicare. Now, here's the thing. The Gavin Newsoms and the couple of Democrats that, still have mental cognitive ability, they lie when they say, we're not using welfare or Medicare on non-citizens. Pause. They'll have another term for it. It's under a different agency. Here's the bottom line. People who come into this country illegally have not paid anything into the system, are not part of the system, and yet they're reaping benefits of the system provided to them by the American taxpayer. They are receiving welfare. You can give it any other name you want to give it, but they're getting free provision, free help, free sustenance on the back of the American taxpayer through a government program, a government handout. Boom, shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom. So this accusation coming from CNN and other media outlets that Donald Trump right out the gate lied. He did not lie about that. Now, you may not have liked his answer on January 6th, or the fact that certain questions he just didn't answer.
Mr. President, how will you stop fentanyl?
We'll stop fentanyl when we stop the crisis of it coming across our border illegally.
What kind of programs will you put in place to help you?
And you know what? Trump's not going to get into this type of weighed down. And all these guys that do that, they're all lying anyway. They never actually do any of the programs or things that they say they're going to do. Trump had the most effective shutdown on fentanyl on two fronts. One, controlling the border. That was number one. Number two, going after doctors who write these prescriptions like it's candy because they make money on it. Because a lot of these doctors own the pharmacies that were then dispensing the fentanyl. So the opioid crisis in this country was created by the medical profession overprescribing it. Because, hey, it's easier to give somebody a pill to shut them up than to actually have to be a doctor and help people work through the pain. So Trump did that in his first term in office. We hadn't turned the border back into a sieve. But needless to say, Trump not getting bogged down in those kind of answers, no big deal. Just staying on message, staying on point. The issue is now that the Supreme Court has said he's got immunity on acts as the president. So even this Stormy Daniels hush money bullhawk made up out of thin air, turning it into 34 felony counts, even former Governor Andrew Cuomo said on Bill Maher's Real Time, there's not a chance in 1,000 years that this case would have ever been brought anywhere unless the defendant's last name is Trump and it was a presidential election year. I mean, Chris Cuomo came right out and told you what it is. It is lawfare. And what the Democrats don't like is the Supreme Court said that's enough. You're not going to weaponize the justice system to go after people just because you don't like them, you don't want to run against them. Show us a real crime. And that's just it. There are no real crimes here. Paying someone to shut up and go away and leave you alone is not a crime. They turned it into 34 felony counts because they said he was doing that as the president to not hurt his presidency. Oh, well, then you just stepped into the immune argument. I mean, these people think they're so smart, they're actually stupid. And when you listen to some of these prosecutors, I'm sorry, all of these equal opportunity hires, I guess that's the nice way I'll say it. I mean, have you seen a dumber lawyer in your life than Nathan's hot dog, who was, Fanny's boyfriend? I mean, have you ever booked cabins before without it being a love interest with Fanny? Yes. They had a plan. Keep Joe Biden in there, knowing full well that he was mentally not up to it. Because, see, that lets the puppet masters actually run the country. Because everybody now knows Joe Biden is not making the decisions that run the country. Other people are. People whose names you don't know, faces you may not have seen, and you and I certainly didn't have any say in electing them. And the truth is, the swamp, the powers that be right now, they kind of like this whole Biden setup thing, this having a puppet as a president. And the real reason they hate Trump is he's not a puppet. He's going to come in, he's going to upset the apple cart again. So they knew the only way, they didn't have a pandemic to flip all of the voting rules around on, like they did in 2020, which was a perfect election, by the way. So we'll just bog him down in court. And people aren't going to vote for a felon, and we'll just bog him down in court, and we can get him on documents that, as the president, he has the authorization to take. And now there's questions under this new immunity ruling that Clarence Thomas has raised. By what authority is Jack Smith even a special counsel here? Therefore, everything gathered under Jack Smith's overseeing of the documents case and the obstruction case in Washington, D.C., it can all go poof. Because the Supreme Court is saying, yeah, we're not quite sure Jack Smith has any authorization to even hold the post that he now holds. See, here's what the Democrats really don't like, and they talk about it's an assault on democracy. No, they're the assault on democracy. The Supreme Court has just stepped in and put them back in check. That's what they don't like, because this blows up their plan to keep the empty puppet head, Joe Biden bobblehead, and they were going to take Trump out with the law because they had weaponized it. And the Supreme Court said, no, nay. And now even the DA, Alvin Bragg in New York, who got the conviction, and next week was supposed to be, the sentencing of Donald Trump. It's now going to get delayed a couple weeks. You're going to see a lot more delays, and you're going to see a lot more things being unplugged now. I mean, this is big. This is, pardon me, but I'm going to do the cliche. It's huge. It's huge. I told you. The Haman rule. Haman was going to wipe out the Jews, going to kill them all, going to hang them all. He was in tight with the king till the queen, a woman named Esther, rose up and said, I'm Jewish. King, are you going to kill me? So what did the king do? He was going to kill his queen, his wife, and he certainly wasn't going to kill any of her family or relatives who were Jewish, so he hung Haman by his own gallows. The very gallows these people erected to hang Donald Trump by, they are now swinging from. and they don't like it.